What's good, my peoples? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I'm doing the weekly forecast slash cosmic weather for the week of November 8th of 2020. My God, Mercury is still in shadow. Forgive me. November 8th of 2020 until November 15th of 2020. All right. So, first, let me just mention before we get to the forecast that I do have horoscopes available for November of 2020. And also, you can order the 2021 yearly horoscopes now. Okay. Now, remember that my horoscopes are videos just like the one you're listening to or watching now. Okay. They are not an automated generated report from a what's it called? Not an app, but a program or anything. I mean, no disrespect to, other astrologers that are able to generate stuff like that. But I this is the way I do things. I do videos, I talk, okay? And my horoscopes are not an automated report that you just get sent to your email right away. I just wanted to clear that up because there's been some confusion about that sometimes. They are videos and I'm only one person, okay? And I actually get the link for you and email it to you. So I'm not a robot. It is not a generated report that you read. It is a video. All right. So November 2020 horoscopes available on my website. You guys may want to check those out, especially if you want to know what this eclipse is doing for you at the end of November, because I do cover that for each sign. And also Mars is going direct, Mercury's going direct. Like, what's all of that mean for you by your sign? And also the 2021 yearly horoscopes, by the time you guys view this video, you will be able to order those as well. So the same thing, those are video links. Okay, so 2021, if you want to know what it holds for you, especially to my USA friends, my American friends, what does it hold for you? Because this is a crazy time for the US. And before we get into the horoscope, I also wanted to do a little something special for my USA friends and my friends who are not in the US who are interested in USA things, okay? But yeah, I will leave the links below the video in the description area and or the comments to where you can order. It's pretty much my website, and go to the horoscope page, indigomoon.astrology.com, okay? All right. So I am just barely catching up on the news of it all, with the whole political presidential thing in the US. I do still work regular jobs. Yes, jobs plural. I'm a Mars and Taurus in the sixth house. We're all about that work, okay? I usually have like several jobs at once. It's just the way I do. So I work some long hours, you guys. So I'm just barely catching up on all this stuff. I didn't know how long it's gonna take to count all the votes and all that. I don't really get too much into that shit. Like, you can think what you want about me, but I can't. All right, I can't. But I do see what's going on through social media and friends if they want to tell me things and update me on what's going on with the rest of the freaking world. Then that's how I know things. So yeah, as you guys know, Donald Trump lost the election this year. And I do still have the link that I will share to the AstroGeeks discussion where we did predictions about this 2020 presidential election in the US, and see what we had to say, like a month or two ago about what's going on now. But I will give you guys a little tidbit of, just a little bit of what I had to say, and then you can go to the podcast that we did to hear the rest. But pretty much, yeah, he lost the election, and Joe Biden won along with, is it Kamala Harris? So they won, right? Okay, a couple of astrological tidbits about this, and then I'll get to the weekly forecast. If anybody wants to timestamp because you want to say the actual horoscope starts at blah, 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 go ahead. It's cool. Okay, so this is a couple of points I'm going to make while we have the visual of the charts on the screen. So everybody's charts, Trump, Biden, and Harris, I looked at AstroTheme. This is astrotheme.com. They're a little sketchy. Okay. So I always see, what is your source for the birth time? They all say either birth certificate or the person themselves gave the birth time. So we'll roll with these. All right. They seem to be pretty legit from what I'm seeing astrologically that's going on. Okay. So why did Trump lose? Well, this was very hard to determine whether or not he was going to win or lose. I'm not going to lie, because there's very specific things that are popping in his chart right now that can point to a very significant life change. And whether the change is good or bad, just by doing a very brief look and not getting into all these, really in-depth, going through the other layers of the onion, if you will, of astrology with someone's chart. Unless you really dive deep, you can't really tell, is it a good or bad? Or I couldn't, okay, with the skills that I have. But I could tell that this is a significant time for him of huge change. That's all I knew. It could go either way. But I did say in the podcast that I did with my astro homies that the fact that this is Trump's nodal return, if we take a look at where the north and south nodes are currently, right? Well, this stupid thing doesn't show the south node, but it's directly opposite of the north. So we have 20 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius, where the north and south nodes are at right now. If you look at Donald Trump's chart, 20 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius. This doesn't show the south node either. What the fuck, man? What's up with these websites not showing the south node? Why are you hating on the south node? Anyway, yeah, with that's where his nodes are in his birth chart. So that means if they come around and they meet, it's like the clock is striking something o'clock for you. When you have a nodal return, whether it's the reversal to where the south node meets your north node and opposing, the same, or it's like north node conjunct north node, south node conjunct south node, the clock is striking, man. It means something significant for you. Okay, so this is in his 10th house of career and the presidency. Presidency is very 10th house. It's, you're at the top. Okay, the top of your chart, and public figure, status is found up here. Being in a position of authority in life is the 10th house. The sun in the 10th is definitely a presidential type of energy, right? A leader. And so this north node in the 10th house means that he was destined for leadership, with it being with the sun too, at some point in his life. But now the clock has stricken 20 degrees of Gemini and Sagittarius. So when that happens with the nodes, it means something is ending and something is beginning. It could be both, or it could be one, and then the next time there's eclipses and stuff, bam, then there's the other that follows. Whether it's like the end of something, and then the nodes keep moving, then there's an eclipse on this axis, because the eclipses in the nodes are always not always, like they are they follow each other and through the zodiac. Okay, so when there's an eclipse again in Gemini and Sag, then that's going to be maybe the finalization of something for him completely, and the beginning of a new era for him. I did say in the podcast that this nodal return for Trump at the same exact time that we have the election is the end. It could be the end of an era for him. And also seeing that Jupiter and Pluto, where are they at right now? 22 degrees of Capricorn. Okay, what is 22 degrees of Capricorn in Trump's chart? His vertex, you see, this is like an X. It's like X marks the spot, meaning there's some significant life events that happen when your vertex point, which this is not something floating around in outer space that you can see and grab. This is a calculated point. I'm not going to get too complicated and into how did you calculate it? Look, just trust what I say. Okay. It means a significant life event happens when major outer planets hit your vertex point. Don't sleep on the calculated points. All right. So Jupiter and Pluto, that's expansion and destruction. You know what I'm saying? So this is an end of an era for him. Now look, his 6th house of the job is in Aquarius. I think I'm going to say this is like around 2 degrees of Aquarius. Looking at the arrow, it's like around 2 degrees of Aquarius, I believe. Okay. So we're going to have a Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius starting in December of 2020 and continuing through the first couple of months of 2020 or 2021, right? So that means that he's going to have a new job. His job is changing. His duties that he does every day, his everyday life and environment and schedule and everything, which the 6th house rules, is changing. Okay. And I did say that in the podcast. He may have to, this may be the end of an era for him, and he may have to get a new job. Okay. Have a new responsibility in his life. Now, why did Biden and Harris win? Just very briefly, I mean, look, Joe Biden, he's supposedly 3 degrees Sagittarius ascendant. He's got his Saturn, which rules like authority and presidency and all of that stuff. 9 degrees of Gemini. Okay. The next eclipse is 8 degrees of Gemini and Sag because it's lunar. So that means the sun and moon. So that means the moon is at 8 degrees of Gemini during this eclipse, and then sun is in 9. Sorry, I still can't talk. Oh my God. Mercury needs to get out of shadow. Okay. The moon will be 8 degrees of Gemini and the sun will be 8 degrees of Sagittarius during this eclipse, almost to the 9th degree, right? And then look at Joe Biden's chart. His Saturn presidency, 9 degrees of Gemini. So there's an eclipse right on it, which opens the portal for his Saturn energy to come through and have a great responsibility. Okay. And then Harris, she is also a Gemini. She's a Gemini rising and a Sagittarius. She's a Gemini rising. Okay. But her north node is on the ascendant, which means the ascendant could be, it's your life path. The first house could be about leadership too. So she was destined to be a leader. And then I've seen people post stuff that's like a quote from her that says her mom told her she would be the first to do many things. Well, the first house has her north node, which is her destiny, in a tight conjunction with it. So her mom was absolutely right. And I don't know if her family knows astrology. A lot of people who are of like Eastern Asian descent, like from India and places like that, are very keenly aware of astrology. I don't know if her moms knew any of that, or if this is just her destiny, so her mom already naturally felt it intuitively to be able to say that to her. She would be the first to do many things. North node on the ascendant in the first house, most definitely. That is just a phrase that plays it out, that describes it perfectly. So this is her nodal return also. She also has a north node in Gemini. It's at 24 degrees. And right now the north node transiting is at 20 degrees, but it's still in the same range. Okay. And then there's going to be that eclipse in Gemini, which it's not going to be exact on her ascendant by degree, but it'll still be in the sign of her first house, which is leadership, which is you. You are changing your role in this world, how people view you and see you. Your identity is the ascendant and the first house. So her identity is definitely changing, which can mean your name and your title. Okay. Title is more 10th house, but also if your title is a big part of your identity, that could be first house and ascendant. So, with the eclipse coming up in November being in Gemini, in that sign that rules all that stuff for her, that her title, her name is, that's attached to her name is definitely changing. So that's what I see here. As far as why astrologically, the election played out the way that it did, just a couple of things to point to it. And one last thing though, the vertex point in her chart and in Harris's chart, 14 degrees of Scorpio. So, right now, as I'm recording this on November 8th, the sun is 16 degrees of Scorpio. But a couple days before, it was at day, damn it. So on November 6th, it was at 14 degrees of Scorpio. Okay. And yeah, so November 6th, it was 14 Scorpio. So pretty much the sun being in a conjunction, that could have been when things were finally counted, finalized, and decided. And then the 7th is when it was announced. Okay, so close enough. The sun conjoined to her vertex point, significant life event happening. So you know what I'm saying? It's just in the stars, if you will, in the planets, for things to play out the way they did for these people. All right, so now let's get to the weekly forecast, you guys. But I just want to give that little bonus for the people that really want to know. Okay, and if I remember to put a timestamp, I will. But if any of you guys want to do it, if you don't want to sit and listen to that shit, it's fine. Okay, not everybody's interested in it, but I thought I'd give something to you guys that are. Okay, so let's start. What's going on with this week, you guys? Besides all of that, what's the weather like for us personally as individuals? What's our daily life energy gonna be? So we do have the moon in Leo. The moon is in Leo. Still on November 8th until November 9th. Okay. And we do still have, let's see, what's building up. We have building up this week the sun trine Neptune and Jupiter conjoined to Pluto. Those are building up starting at the beginning of the week. And then Mercury is still making a square aspect to Saturn, and also Jupiter and Pluto too. Those are still lingering as we begin the week. So just thought I would mention those. But okay, let's go in date order. What's cracking? All right, so let's start talking about on the 9th. We have the moon in Virgo. The moon's going to be in Virgo for a couple of days. I thought I wrote it down. Oh my gosh, Mercury is definitely still in shadow, you guys. My bad. The moon is in Virgo. I just don't have it together, and it's early. I'm not a morning person, y'all. Forgive me. Okay, so the moon is going to be in Virgo until the 11th. Okay, it's going to be in Virgo until the 11th of I was going to say January. Lord have mercy. Should I just re-record this? Oh my gosh. I hope you guys don't mind me just being me and raw, and I make mistakes and whatever. I'm at least half human, so fuck it. Okay, so the moon will be in Virgo from the 9th to the 11th. Moon in Virgo days, I always say they're good for getting your life together. They're good for you cleaning and organizing your world, your house, your desk, your workspace, your room, your clothing. People who want to alphabetize their spice cabinet, all that type of thing is good for Moon and Virgo days. But people can be very critical of themselves and other people. Some people can really look in the mirror during the days the moon's in Virgo and like really pick at themselves and see, oh, I have this, this wrinkle here, this roll here, or this scar here, like what the F, or this, this can be adjusted a little bit. Maybe I should go get a little procedure done. I mean, Moon and Virgo days can make you like that. Just think of Michael Jackson. He had a lot of Virgo energy, and you know how much of a perfectionist he was with his appearance, and he just had a lot. He's like notoriously known for having a lot of plastic surgery. Kim Kardashian has Venus in Virgo, but she always tries to look natural with her stuff. But what's her name? Kylie Jenner has Venus in Virgo, and she really transformed her look. Like, it can bring out your Virgo energy, can bring out your insecurities and make you always feel like you have to perfect yourself and your appearance. So just be aware of that. Even though the moon is only in this sign for 2 days, just try not to nitpick at yourself, okay? Or at other people and be chronic complainers and have bitch fests every day about work, problems at work, and and this person does this, and oh my God, and why do they do this, and why do people but what the positives are Moon and Virgo days, yes, getting those to-do lists knocked out, writing lists for things and being more organized and feeling accomplished if you check off things on your to-do list for those couple of days. It's really good for that. Being like managing things a little bit better in your life, paying more attention to your health, that's Moon and Virgo days. Okay. So the moon is in Virgo that day. Now, also on the 9th, we have Venus opposing Mars. I forgot to mention, this is also building up. It's been building up for the last week or so. So Venus is 15 degrees of Libra, Mars is 15 degrees of Aries. I think I talked about this in the November horoscope video, so go check that out if you want more insight into some of the transits and, an ahead of time view of the whole month of November. I have a November video here on YouTube. But this Venus and Mars opposition in general, what this can mean is just Venusian people are beefing with more Mars oriented people and vice versa right now, meaning people who are wanting to just be chill, calm, relaxed. They just want to enjoy the good life, be unbothered, not have anyone's jarring energy harass them. They want to take their time with things. That energy is in the mix with Mars and Aries energy. That is total like bro energy that just wants to smash beer cans on their head and scream and jump into pools naked, even though it's super cold out, but they're still saying woo, and then they jump out and then they go run into a wall and bang their head on it and say, fuck yeah, that was fun, even though they have a motherfucking concussion. That's Mars and Aries, okay? Venus in Libra, especially with it ruling Libra, doesn't want to be bothered with that energy. Like, it's just like, ugh, oh my God, you're so barbaric, Mars and Aries. And I'm so sophisticated. Yeah, that's if anybody fits a description of any of those two energies that oppose each other, you're gonna be looking at the other like, oh my God, and just be annoyed. So that's what that can mean. But this is just like masculine and feminine energies are battling it out, and I can see that playing out with the events of the country I live in too. That the people that just want to be peaceful, they're celebrating. They think that the people in office are gonna bring more peace to them, and then the people that they think otherwise are jarring, their energy that way, like F that, and I don't know. People, there's just opposing energies in the sky, you guys, with this, okay? But this can also mean like in your personal life, in your world. Maybe if you have a partner, like a romantic partner, you can not be getting along very well with them. Or you can have this inner battle with yourself of whether to be more passive and submissive and receptive versus being a go-getter and jumping after things, which is the Mars and Aries energy. With Mars being retrograde still, I would say to be careful and maybe lean towards the peaceful, chill side versus the raw, side. Lean towards that way because of the retrograde action still popping. Mars, it does move direct this week, but when this exact opposition with Venus is happening, it's still retro. And then it's going to be in shadow period anyway until January. So you still want to watch your actions, you guys. Okay. But yeah, I would say, and this isn't just because I'm Venusian and I have a lot of Libra energy, but lean towards the chill side because this retrograde Mars is no joke. If you try to push things too much, then you'll get a lot of resistance still. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the 10th. This is when we have the sun in a trine aspect to Neptune. Exactly. It's like really early in the morning when this aspect is popping. Exact. So for a lot of us, it's probably when we're memes, okay, when we're asleep, or it's like really late at night on the 9th. Really late at night on the 9th of November. And then into the 10th of November, this aspect is really, really it's really prominent, very strong energy. So with the sun trine Neptune, and it's both in water signs. The sun is in Scorpio, Neptune's in Pisces. This is very intuitive energy too. Very intuitive, very empathic. So here's the thing. Neptune dissolves boundaries. That can mean boundaries between the physical realm and the spirit realm. Physical realm is very sun energy, right? Very sun, hot heat energy, direct, go-getter, no BS. So this is like physical realm energy, and then this is like spirit realm energy. Neptune and Pisces, water, ocean, you know, spiritual stuff, unknown, mystery, fog. That's all like Neptune and Pisces. But anyway, these two energies are working together. So the veil is very thin this week, but especially on the 9th and 10th when this aspect is exact. So yeah, and then Neptune, it rules dreams, like literally like the dreams that you have at night. If you daydream and you like zone out into some crazy cartoonish daydreams and stuff, that's Neptune in Pisces, especially. It rules Pisces. So it's like super strong, you know, within that type of a vibe. So pay attention to your dreams, especially the 9th into the 10th. What are you dreaming about? And you can also receive messages from the other side, you know, with this energy. Scorpio rules death and the other side. And then Neptune and Pisces rule the spirits, you know, in the spirit realm. So, and like, you know, if you believe in like angels and a higher power and all that, that's all Neptune and Pisces. So, you can receive messages much clearly from that side. Now, as far as the practical world, you guys, like paying attention to things, you know, being logical about stuff, that is just not the business under this energy. It's not. You like, people can be losing track of stuff. Yo, let me tell you, like, this, like I said, this energy's been building. And when I was working a couple of jobs, yeah, like my supervisor kept forgetting this and forgetting that, and Mercury's still in shadow too, adding to it. But it's like forgetting this and forgetting that, and oh my god, I forgot this, and I left this behind, and I dropped this paperwork on the ground, and I'm like, yo, where's this energy at for you and your chart? I didn't ask her because we were too busy for that. But still, like practical world stuff, same thing. I kept forgetting items. You could forget physical items under this energy. You can forget information, data. You can forget just be mad forgetful because you're more in tune with the spirit realm and feeling, you know. And yeah, it was very hard for me to pay attention at my job and be sharp with things under this energy. I was working these jobs where I was outside, you know, and the weather was actually pretty beautiful. There's beautiful scenery and surroundings around me, and I would just zone out into that stuff. And I had like a headphone in my ear listening to music. Music is ruled by Neptune also, so I would zone out into the music sometimes, and then look at those birds. Look how they're flocking together and flying together. Isn't that beautiful? And then people are like, hey, and I'm like, huh, what? Yes, that is totally the Sun and Neptune energy. You're more in tune with like the beauty of the world and the vibrations of things and people around you, rather than, you know, what you need to be responsible for and like all these duties and like practical things. So just be aware of that and be careful. You know, Mercury's still in shadow. Be careful driving. You can really not pay attention. Like, I'm seriously, like, everybody's gonna get a taste of what it's like to be a Pisces a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, Mercury, Venus, Mars. You know, we're just like, huh? Like a lot of times. So everybody is going to have this energy popping for them this week. So be careful when you're driving. Be careful operating heavy machinery or doing like very serious things, okay? Because you will not be all the way here. You'll be very, like, I used to have a boss. It was very earth sign and would say, you have this otherworldly, outer worldly look on your face. Of course, a fucking Virgo is going to tell me that, right? Like, you don't look like you're here zoned into your work and doing practical things. Okay, whatever. So yeah, you guys are going to get a taste of that. Everybody is. So everybody could be a little, So try to have patience with yourself and other people under the Sun trine Neptune. But yes, music, I've noticed that Sun and Neptune transits make, and any other like heavy Neptune transit, you hear music so much more clearly. Like, you hear everything. You might hear words and lyrics that you never noticed before, even in songs you've heard like thousands of times. And same thing with like instruments. You hear a lot of instruments that you didn't notice, or like sound. Oh, I didn't notice that sound was in there. Everything is so much more loud and clear when it comes to music, which Neptune and Pisces rules. And you feel the music more. If you don't usually have rhythm when you dance, you'll probably have it a little more under this aspect. You move around naturally to what you hear and also what you feel. Your intuition is heightened, you guys. Heightened into it. Listen to your intuition this week. Okay, if it's telling you anything and you just feel it, a lot of people will be really going with the flow and really noticing like little synchronicities of stuff too. So just really pay attention to anything spiritual, intuitive. Art and creativity and music will definitely be more loud and clear and in vivid color to you this week. So if you are an artist or you have any artistic hobbies, yes, this is really a beautiful time to make things come to life. But yeah, if you do practical, regular, like earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn type of things in life, you're not going to be on it this week, and neither are other people. And it's just the energy right now. You can't get too mad at them and think that everybody's incompetent or that you are and that you're just a blithering idiot. Okay. So anyway, Sun trine Neptune. Also on the 10th, adding to the mix of the water sign energy in the air, is Mercury is going to go back into Scorpio. Mercury is going back into Scorpio and will stay there until December 1st. So just for a few weeks, he's still in shadow trying to build up his momentum. All right, he's just still trying to build up his energy, get back into the groove. Excuse me. So, Mercury in Scorpio. So the last time Mercury was in Scorpio around that 0 degree was at the end of October, like October 27th. And then also around the 27th of September too. So if anything really significant happened for you around those dates and you can remember, they're going to be looked at again for a third time. Okay. Around like this week, only counting this week. But Mercury going back into Scorpio is a whole ass repeat of September 27th through October 27th, roughly. Okay, when Mercury was in Scorpio during that time, and then when retrograde. So we're rethinking stuff from around that time period. Like wherever Scorpio is at in your chart is what you're revising and going over. And once again, I do have horoscopes in November, for each sign if you want to know how that's affecting you, what area of life is affecting you. Because I also will take a look at Mercury and what house it rules for you and what could be moving forward based on that too. Okay. But anyway, yeah, Mercury and Scorpio. So now adding to like the spooky season that people call it, and people discussing Scorpio things like trauma, traumatic experiences, death, rebirth, things that are taboo, and Scorpio also rules like sex and sexuality. And I do notice that since there's energy in Scorpio in the sky, there's a lot more ads for lingerie. There's a lot more people rocking black and leather and vinyl and chains and lace and all that stuff. I, as a Scorpio rising, think it's beautiful, and my Lilith is in Scorpio too, so I think it's all gorgeous, darling. And rocking the red lipstick, the bright red lips, the burgundy lips. So Mercury isn't a planet that rules necessarily like fashion and stuff. It's more Venus and more like the sun, which is your appearance, how you put yourself out there. But, Mercury joining in on the Scorpio party that the sun is alone in right now. It can bring out more of that. And also this chart doesn't show Lilith, but Lilith rules a lot of this similar like dark energy things like Scorpio does. And Lilith is in the early degrees of Taurus. So once Mercury enters Scorpio to be opposing Lilith, in Taurus, and bringing more of that out, wanting to talk about taboo topics and stuff. Okay. And Mercury right away is going to be opposing Uranus. Mercury was opposing Uranus like the end of September into the first like week or so, actually from September till October, till the end of October, Mercury was opposing Uranus. Okay. And now that's a repeat, which means anything goes, like when it comes to talking and communication. I've noticed that this brings like the freaking goofball out of people, because Uranian energy is very goofy, wacky, kooky, whatever you want to call it, crazy. Okay. Cray, loco. Okay. That's all Uranus energy. It's wild. It's a wild card energy. You never know what you're going to get, like Forrest Gump says. So when there's communication, which is Mercury opposing it and being activated by it, you never know what's gonna come out of people's mouths, man. They can say some wild shit. Like, I know people that have Mercury conjoined to Uranus in their birth chart, and they just blah, just say stuff. And people are like, what? Uranus rules shocks, literal electric shocks physically, but also shocking things that you that you did not expect. So when we've got the planet of communication, activating it, yeah, there's a lot of shocking information that can come out. But yeah, hella goofball energy with this Mercury and Uranus. People won't give a fuck what they say. All right. So this is going to be right as Mercury steps into Scorpio. Okay. All right. So that's on the 10th. On the 11th, this is when the moon moves into Libra, and she'll join Venus in Libra. Can we all just get along type of energy. Venus still opposing Mars. That's very tense energy this week. But, the moon joins Libra, and it's like, oh my God, let's just drink pumpkin spice lattes and be in our cashmere sweaters and just be cute and take selfies. And oh my God, where's my boo? And where's my other boo? And that back burner boo I have. Actually, I have 5 back burner boos. How are they all doing? They haven't texted me yet, admiring me and telling me how beautiful I am. Oh my God, what's going on? I'm suffering withdrawals. Yeah, Libra energy to the max. Okay. So during Moon and Libra days, we can feel a little like, yo, I wish I had somebody to hang out with, or somebody to talk to, or somebody to run errands with me, somebody to do this, somebody to do that. I wish I had somebody to snuggle with. I wish I had, Moon and Libra days bring that vibe out. And then she's joining Venus too. That's totally the craving for some sort of attention, I guess you can say. Attention from other people. You can't stand being alone under Libra energy. So yeah, it's that type of a vibe, but it's also good for like appreciating art and beauty and stuff, beautifying yourself, taking more selfies, looking in the mirror a little more, using those cutesy Snapchat filters and stuff. Libra things, you know what I mean? So the moon is in Libra, for a couple days. So until the 13th, actually the moon is in Libra until Friday the 13th. Ooh, how appropriate. We'll get there in a sec. Okay. So also we have Jupiter in an exact conjunction to Pluto on November 12th. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So listen. So we've got the sun in Scorpio. We've got Mercury in Scorpio. We've got Venus building up to a square to Pluto, which rules Scorpio. And then we've got the moon also in Libra. While she's in Libra, she will be squaring Pluto. We got this Venus and Mars opposition. This is very tense, intense energy towards the end of the week, you guys. This can, once again, it could be relationship related. Any type of relationship, any type of dealings with other humans. Okay, pretty much. But yeah, of course, romantically too. This can be very intense energy. Excuse me, this could be conflict, that's been boiling and building up, but hopefully comes to a resolution because of the Libra energy that just wants everybody to be nice to each other. But yeah, this is very tense energy, very scorpionic. People can be very much more like private and low key towards the end of the week. I don't really fuck with too many people. I don't trust anybody, like that type of Scorpio vibe. It can also mean the good Scorpio things too, though. Like, yo, I can't take it anymore. I can't hold myself back anymore. I've got to talk to this person that I've been peeping, or I got to, finally like step up and make a move on someone that I want. Stuff like that can happen too. But if it's not like just relationship stuff, all this buildup of this intense Pluto and Scorpio energy can mean other things that you want to go after in life that you've maybe been holding back. Maybe you'll just finally want to just do things. Or for some people, it may cause them to retract a little more go within. Scorpio energy and Pluto energy is about you go within, you hide away, you destroy parts of yourself or destroy things within your mind, and then you come back out revised, rejuvenated, rebuilt, reborn. I had a friend of mine kind of complain the other day, why do Scorpios disappear and stuff like that? A lot of times that's why. Maybe there's something that's going on within Scorpios. But I'm saying Scorpios, but I'm not counting any of you guys out that are not Scorpios. This is the energy that's in the air. So this counts for everybody collectively too. So just hear me out. So Scorpio energy does go within and hide away. If something happens or something comes to mind, like if there's something that they're dissatisfied with within their lives, they will hide away, and they'll be like working something out to where they get rid of like if it's a mindset, or if it's like, yo, I've been so obsessively trying to do this thing over and over again, or thinking about this thing over and over again, and I just want it to stop. I have to destroy it. So you got to go within, which means retreating away, which means not dealing with other humans and not having their energy mixed in with yours, because you really have to focus. Scorpio and Pluto energy is very focused. If you notice people who are born with any placements that are Scorpio or Pluto, their eyes are very intense and look like they're staring into you, into your soul, and like their eyes should have some freaking laser beam shooting out of them that could just like burn right through people. That's the gaze of Scorpio type of people. And that is how sharp their focus is. So we all can become like that about something that we either want or don't want, that we want to destroy, or that we want to go after with fierce passion. So that's kind of like the vibe towards the end of the week, you guys. Mercury's in Scorpio, Jupiter conjoined to Pluto. Oh my gosh. And then Mars, which is the co-ruler of Scorpio, goes direct on the 13th. So and then on the 13th, we've got the moon, Mercury, the sun, all in Scorpio. And then Mars is direct, and then Jupiter is expanding Pluto, the planet that rules Scorpio. Heavy Scorpio energy at the end of this week. So destroy and rebuild is definitely a thing. Kill off and be reborn is definitely a thing. Also, really intensely like wanting to research things and know things and uncover secrets and hidden information, like all of that is really popping towards the end of the week. So it might be like, woo, people are celebrating, especially in the US right now. People are celebrating lighthearted energy. We start the week with the moon in Leo, Venus in Libra, Mercury in Libra. It's all like, fun and games and just breeze right through things and people. But towards the end of the week, you guys, it's like, okay, I keep my circle small. I don't F with too many people right now. I'm trying to figure out this or that or whatever, and I need to go within and what's bothering me. But no, let me get to the root of it, to the core of it. Or even if it's something good, like I just want to know this about this and that, and let me get down to the nitty-gritty details and research. Like all of that is the vibe. Okay, the vibe that we end the week with. So yeah, the moon does go into Scorpio from the 13th until I think the 15th. I know, I forgot to write all that. Yeah, the 13th through the 15th, the moon is in Scorpio. Okay. So, of course, those days are lots of deep emotions that can come to the surface, or you still just keep them to yourself, depending upon you. But lots of deep emotional feels that day, man. Feels. And with Mercury in the mix, too. And, the sun is in Scorpio. Yo. So, yeah. Moon and Scorpio days, good for research and investigation, like I mentioned, just figuring things out. Scorpio is a natural psychologist of the zodiac and of our worlds. So going within your own self or within other people's minds and trying to dissect things, figure things out, get to the root of the problem or the root of why this and why that, that's really good for Moon and Scorpio days. And yeah, we'll be more interested in topics that have to do with murders and sex and blood and gore and stuff like that. Money also. Money, Scorpio does rule money. Like, yo, what's going on with these taxes? What's going on with a stimulus check? What's going on with my food stamps? All that stuff is ruled by Scorpio. Money that you receive that's benefits from somewhere else other than a paycheck. So if you have any dealings with any type of financial resource that fits into that category, then when the moon is in Scorpio, it'll really be on your mind, because the moon is like your inner mind, your subconscious mind, right? And then we got Mercury, which is your conscious mind too. So lots of Scorpio energy that we have during the weekend. And Mars does go direct, like I said, on November 13th. Mars is going to be in shadow period until January 2021. Once it gets past that 28th degree of Aries where it went retrograde, so pretty much almost the whole rest of the ride through Mars and Aries, it's in shadow. Still watch what you do. Watch your impulsivity. Watch the energy that you direct towards people, because if it's on some bullshit, that arrow will turn right back around. It'll go like, oh, motherfucker, say what? You did what? No, we are not having this. And you didn't expect that. You thought you were going to send that angry energy out and it wasn't going to, return back. And you thought you were all big and bad. Yeah, I sure told them, I showed them, haha. And then that Mars shadow, that arrow of Mars is still turned around this way, pointed at you. It's not here yet, pointed outward normally like it is. It'll come back at you. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now we do have a new moon in Scorpio on the 23rd. Or I'm sorry, on the 14th, but it's at 23 Scorpio. Lord have mercy. Please forgive my stupidity when talking, you guys. I am very Neptunian, and the sun is square trine Neptune. I cannot even think or speak correctly right now. Okay, so we do have a new moon in Scorpio. It looks like I got the exact time. So this is Pacific time in the US. Or is it Pacific time? Whatever. It's on the west coast of the US and A, okay? So we have a new moon in Scorpio, 23 degrees, sun and moon together in the same sign at the same degree. It's making good aspects to Pluto and to Jupiter, especially. Jupiter is also at that 23rd degree. So what does this mean? A new beginning in Scorpio land. Okay. Wherever it is in your chart, if you know your rising sign or your sun sign, especially, and what house it's in, then that's what it's going to bring to you. But, I guess it can maybe bring something new to the surface that has to do with the government and money, wherever it is that you live, not just the US, because Capricorn is the government. Scorpio is money that we benefit from the government in other places. So these planets are working together during this new moon. So we could hear maybe some news wherever you live in the world. Maybe you may hear some news about some change that has to do with money and the government and benefits and insurance, taxes and all of that stuff. There could be something that is newly presented or that takes effect during that time. This new moon isn't really making significant aspect to any other planets that I would count and take a look at. I mean, it is making a trine to Neptune. Yeah, it's still making a trine to Neptune. It's 5 degrees away. So there could be some confusion around whatever happens. Even though a trine is a good aspect, Neptune is still confusing AF. All right, and puts a fog over things that makes things unclear. So we could be having some confusion, with whatever the new moon brings, but also it brings intuition into the mix. So practicality and laser sharp focus mixed with intuition, and just knowing things. Scorpio energy already knows some shit all the time, just knows. And then when you add Neptune and Pisces in the mix, you just know. So there could be something that's reworked. But when this comes to your personal life, there's something that you could be reworking within yourself. Scorpio energy is about the phoenix bird example, burning down to the ashes, going within, then being reborn. And then these planets are supporting that. The Capricorn energy is like, yep, come on, let's get it. Let's climb to the top. We can do this. Okay, Scorpio, we're not going to burn down to the ashes and then cry about it and wallow in that shit forever. we're going to rise out and we're going to work. Okay. We're going to do this. So it's being supported by the planets in Capricorn, which is good because these planets could be like mad, stingy AF and in Capricorn and be very tough and bully and mobster like. Okay. Now, speaking of these Capricorn planets, we do have Venus square Pluto on the 15th. Venus square Pluto. And this is an aspect that acts like Venus in Scorpio because Scorpio is the ruling planet of, Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. So we have Venus challenged by Pluto, which means things to do with money, which Venus rules, and love and relationships also can be challenged by Pluto. You may have to destroy and rebuild. Oh, and Venus is square Jupiter on this day too. But let's go a little early on because I was like late in the freaking day. Okay, so here we go. So we've got Venus square Pluto, right? So this is scorpionic energy, like I said. So there's something that you may feel like needs to die or transform when it comes to your love life. But on a real world tip here, Venus square Pluto can bring out jealousy and possessiveness in people. Like, where were you? Were you? Why were you doing this on social media? Why were you liking this person's picture? How come you looked at my stories during this time of day, but then you disappeared? Like weird, like stuff like that, you guys, that you notice little detailed things within your dealings with lovers, relationships that just really set you off and make you highly suspicious of a person. It makes your little radar, your little bullshit and cheater radar go off. Okay. Your little spidey senses are tingling when it comes to dealing with these ninjas out here, or ninjettes. Okay. Chicks, dudes, whoever you're dealing with, doesn't matter. I just mostly use the example of like chicks dealing with dudes because this is Venus, it rules feminine energy. But yeah, you could be highly suspicious of motherfuckers, man. It doesn't even have to be with love. You're just highly suspicious. You could be very protective over yourself, your heart, your energy, your live. Okay. With Venus square Pluto. But this can also bring out that scorpionic look a little bit more, looking like a vampire or like like some sort of ninja fighter off of a show or something that wears all black and leather and shades, sunglasses, and just is in disguise all the time. Yeah, you can have that look because Venus does rule fashion and beauty and your appearance. But Venus square Pluto, this can definitely bring out like some jealousy and possessiveness, number one. Okay, so just be aware of that in you, or you may attract that to you from other people. But it can bring the passion though. One thing I love, even though Venus is square Pluto, like that's a tough aspect. Like it could bring out passion to where it's just like, I can't let you go, like I can't let you go physically. I'm just gripping onto you tightly with passion, but also I can't let you go emotionally and from the soul. Like my soul wants you and is grabbing onto you. My energy is grabbing you. Venus square Pluto could bring that out too. And it ain't all bad, okay? And then, yes, like I showed earlier, Venus is also square Jupiter. So be careful of your actions, like jumping to conclusions, jumping towards actions without fully thinking them through, based on suspicions and paranoia when it comes to love and money. That's what I would say about this conjunction and Venus squaring it, challenging it. Okay, but Jupiter increases things. It can increase that passion, baby. All right, which isn't a bad thing. So we also end the week with the moon in Sagittarius starting on the 15th. It helps to lighten the mood with all this Sun and Mercury in Scorpio, Venus square Pluto, Mars direct, opposing Venus. Like once the moon goes into Sag, people may just say fuck it about a lot of things and just jump and do some wild stuff and say woo, and I just want to be free and run away from all this intense scorpionic energy and run off into the mountains somewhere or something. Run off to the ocean or body of water if that's around you. Run off into the forest if that's around you. Just run off in nature. Be like, man, I got to get away from this intensity. Like, it's way too much. I'm just trying to be lighthearted and fun and, no worries, zero F's given. That's a Sag attitude. but all this stuff is like reaching, like, oh, you know, like these scary zombie hands at you, all the Scorpio energy, Pluto energy trying to grab you. And you're like, no. So, yeah. And then Mars is also still technically in a square aspect to Pluto as well. Let's see, 15 and 22. Yeah. So, yo, man, intensity towards the end of the week. But that's it, you guys. I'm gonna stop rambling. Oh my god, I can't believe how much I hooked on phonics is not working for me right now, like under this energy. So please forgive me. I hope you guys still got something out of this and understood the words that were coming out of my mouth. I hope you have a good week. I hope you guys stay healthy and peaceful. And don't forget to peep the November video to see the whole overview of this month of November and what it's bringing to us collectively. Don't forget about the November 2020 horoscopes by sign, and also 2021 yearly horoscopes. If you want to see if next year is going to be as crazy as 2020, definitely get you one of those, okay? Get you one, all right? So by the time this video is up, these will be available for purchase. Once again, I email them out personally. I'm a human, at least partially. I have jobs. I have children's. I email them to you. It's not an automatic Zoltar machine that you put your coin in and a little paper pops out, okay? So give me 24 to 48 hours to get you your link to your horoscope video to your email. And if your email is different from your PayPal email address, please reach out to me directly and give me the correct place to send your horoscope link. Okay. All right, you guys, much love to you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support always. Don't forget to follow me on IG for goofiness based on astrology and some horoscope stuff sprinkled in throughout the week, and maybe some selfies because, you know, the sun's in my first house. I mean, fuck it, whatever. I'm feeling myself a little bit right now. So follow me on Instagram under @CosmicHomegirl, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.